Police have found human remains during a search for a missing Amish woman who disappeared in Pennsylvania last summer. The remains were recovered from a rural area in the eastern part of Lancaster County as part of a search related to the disappearance of 18-year-old Linda Stoltzfoos, the district attorney's office said Wednesday. Stoltzfoos was last seen walking home from a church service in the Bird-in-Hand area of Lancasteron on June 21 last year. She never returned home. Speaking about the find, Stoltzfoos' uncle told CBS 21, "I'm still in shock and never ready for news like this." The county coroner's office will now make a formal identification and determine the cause and manner of death, prosecutors said. The FBI, state police and East Lampeter Township police were at the scene, while prosecutors noted that Wednesday marked exactly 10 months since Stoltzfoos disappeared. While there is yet to be formal identification of the remains, local resident Debbie Matteoda said, "For the family I feel terrible, because they keep all this hope all this time, that maybe she will show up, but then again it's a closure." "It's sad," said Krista Hanna I. "hope that the family feels peace a little bit and their search is over, and they know now what happened." Last month, a county judge ruled that prosecutors had presented enough evidence for a homicide trial against Justo Smoker, 35, of Paradise, in the disappearance of Stoltzfoos. Prosecutors have said friends and family report that Stoltzfoos was happy with her life and had never expressed any desire to leave. In fact, they say, she had made plans to join others in a church youth group that day. Smoker was initially charged with felony kidnapping and misdemeanor false imprisonment. But in December, he was charged with homicide, with prosecutors alleging that the passing of time, along with the complete cessation of all routine activities, led to the inevitable conclusion that Linda was deceased and that Smoker caused her death. Stoltzfoos was reported missing on the evening of Father's Day by her father after she failed to return home from a youth group she had been set to attend. Investigators say Stoltzfoos never made it to the social gathering that night. Surveillance footage observed by authorities captured Stoltzfoos walking alone on Beechdale Road, a route she typically took home after church. A red Kia Rio that matched Smoker's vehicle registration number was also seen in the footage. In a rural location in Ronks, where they believe the victim might have been taken, and where the vehicle was seen parked June 23, authorities found items of Stoltzfoos' clothing buried in a wooded area, prosecutors said. Smoker became a person of interest in the kidnapping after police received information about a red/orange vehicle seen in the Gap area on the afternoon of the abduction, the East Lampeter Township Police Department said in a press release in July last year. Multiple witnesses in the area reported seeing an Amish female in the passenger seat of a vehicle driven by a male. Witness descriptions of the driver and vehicle are consistent with Smoker and his vehicle. A DNA profile attributable to Smoker was found on one of her buried stockings, prosecutors have said. The FBI offered a reward of $10,000 in July for information leading to her recovery. Krista Hanna I, the county's chief public defender, argued in March there was no proof that Stoltzfoos had ever gotten into Smoker's car, and he elicited testimony that her DNA wasn't found on samples taken from the car. East Lampeter Township Detective Christopher Jones said DNA profiles recovered were insufficient to test. Hundreds of volunteers showed up to search for Stoltzfoos, according to a Facebook page that details search efforts and includes photos and videos from the scene. For hours, volunteers scoured fields and streams for Stoltzfoos. In the evening, 15 horses with riders were dispatched to help search for Stoltzfoos. Members of the tight-knit religious community held a vigil on Wednesday to pray for Stoltzfoos' return. Smoker has an extensive criminal history stretching back to 2005 and has spent the majority of his adult life behind bars. He had been a former high school wrestling all-star who had a 3.0 grade point average and earned a place on the Lancaster Lebanon wrestling all-star team in 2003, before turning to a life of crime. The 34-year-old was sentenced to serve 12.5 years to 30 years in prison following a string of armed robberies in 2006. Smoker pleaded guilty to the robberies, during which he and his brother, Victor, used a BB gun to rob 4 different businesses between August 8 and August 13, 2006. During the trial, Smoker was revealed to have been adopted at age 7, after he was found living on the street, just trying to survive, his defense attorney said. "They raised me better than this," Smoker told the judge of his adoptive parents. "I'm sorry for what I did, and the people I hurt, including my family." His adoptive father said Smoker had been trouble since we got him. The judge told Smoker at the 2007 hearing that he could have imposed a sentence that would have kept him in prison for twice as long, if not the rest of his life, Lancaster Online reported. But the judge said he issued a sentence that ensures society is protected, but that you could still come out and lead a reasonable life. Smoker ended up serving nearly the minimum on that sentence and was released on February 28, 2019. Bird in Hand is known for its large Amish population, and tourists come to visit the Amish Village Heritage Museum. Pennsylvania and Ohio have the highest concentration of Amish communities, with 50 Amish groups in each state. The Pennsylvania Amish are known to be private people who believe that God has called them to a simple life of faith, discipline, dedication and humility. Shunning technology, they believe that the Amish religion should be practiced, not displayed, and translated into daily living, rather than focused on tangible symbols or complicated religious rituals. Stoltzfoos' disappearance came a month after a 21-year-old U.S. Air Force airman was arrested for allegedly killing Mennonite Sunday school teacher Sasha Cross, 27, in Arizona. Both the Amish and Mennonites belong to the Anabaptist denomination of Christianity and dress in similar garb, but unlike the Amish, the Mennonites allow the use of some modern technological advances in their daily lives.